What's going on, guys? It's Greg here, aka NYPrepper. It is Wednesday, October 4th, 2023, and I have an emergency alert to share with you guys. Right now, it is 8:51 p.m. Eastern Time here in the United States, and we currently have two Nuke sniffer planes in the air, and we also have a B-52 nuclear bomber over Louisiana. So let me just show you guys what's going on here. So we have one Nuke sniffer plane over Michigan right now, heading east towards the Canada border. Okay, in Lake Huron. It'll be interesting to see if it crosses into Canada or not. But there's the Canadian, border for their airspace. Okay, right here in Lake Huron. And then we have another Nuke sniffer plane flying over Kansas City, and both of these took off from Offutt Air Base, which is home of Strategic Command, which is the most important base in the U.S. military. And these planes can detect the presence of radiation in the atmosphere. They sample the air and they can detect radionuclides, okay? So this is very, very interesting that there would be two of them in the air. And of course, today we had that emergency alert system test here in the US and in Russia. We also have some news coming out that apparently Russia is planning to test a nuclear-powered, nuclear-armed cruise missile in the Russian Arctic, and apparently it might happen on Putin's birthday, which is this weekend. On Saturday is Putin's birthday. Russia has issued a NOTAM in the Russian Arctic for this test. Okay, so this could be why we're seeing two nuke sniffers in the air right now. But we also have this B-52 airborne near Lake Charles, Louisiana, and this is the same spot that another B-52 was flying just 2 or 3 days ago. So something definitely spooked this B-52 up in the air, okay? And these two nuke sniffers. So, guys, tensions are really, really high. Get prepared. I have a friend of mine who has a friend in the Air Force, and my friend's friend basically said that the emergency alert system test today was due to the fact that tensions are so high between Russia and the U.S. and that we're basically on the verge of nuclear war. Okay, this is a friend of a friend who's in the Air Force. All right, so it's not looking too good right now. So please make sure you guys are preparing. I want to just share some of the latest breaking news. Here's a picture of that NOTAM. This is in the Russian Arctic. This is just north of Murmansk, which is on the Kola Peninsula. This is where Russia has their Northern Fleet. That's their most important submarine base. That's where they have 2/3 of their nuclear-armed submarines. You can see they issued a NOTAM, a notice to airmen, from October the 7th to October the 12th, temporary danger area. This is right around Putin's birthday. Okay, Putin's birthday is October 7th. All right, so they could be testing that nuclear-armed, nuclear-powered cruise missile, the Burevestnik, in this area potentially, and that's why we have these nuke sniffers airborne right now. But the B-52 also airborne is what really concerns me. Okay, that's why I'm titling this an emergency alert, because this is extremely unusual, and this thing's been up in the air for so long. So get prepared, guys. I want to share this video coming out of Russia. This is some city. I think this is Moscow. This was earlier today when Russia did their emergency alert system test, their nuclear war readiness test. So let me just play this for you. Very, very eerie. So, guys, something is going down. Putin is going to China this month. I don't think he's going to China just to hang out with Xi Jinping. Okay, he's going there for something serious, and it's not a trade deal. Maybe they're going to talk about simultaneously invading Taiwan and nuking Ukraine. Maybe that's what they're going to talk about. I have no idea, but Putin is running out of options. Okay, he's running out of missiles. He's running out of drones. He's running out of men. Okay, so the use of nuclear weapons is very tempting if you're Vladimir Putin now. Okay, his economy is going down. Okay, so the ruble is going down. The economy in Russia is weakening. So it's a very, very serious situation. Okay, if you're Vladimir Putin, things are not looking too good right now. Okay. So I want to just share some pictures from these nuclear war exercises that Russia was doing. This is coming from the UK Sun. Here we have some kids practicing using gas masks. Okay. Here we have a picture of some decontamination workers practicing carrying bodies. And here we have an announcement that was displayed on TVs in Russia, and it said, "Attention everyone, there is a check of readiness of the warning system to the population. Please remain calm." Here we have a picture of some Russian police officers and Russian military officers in a bunker somewhere. Okay, you can see this giant door to the bunker. This is a blast door. And here we have some bunker in Stalingrad with the capacity to hold over 30,000 people. You can see these bunk beds already set up. Okay, why would they go through the trouble of setting up these bunks if it's just an exercise? Okay, maybe this is not an exercise, but maybe it's the real deal. And Putin is going to order a nuclear strike on NATO or Ukraine. And this is not just a test. This is an actual preparation for that. Okay. So get prepared, guys. Okay. Please. I'm not trying to scare anybody, but it's a very, very tense situation right now. Here we have Russian firefighters practicing putting out fires. And here we have Russian radiation workers practicing detecting radiation hotspots, okay, with Geiger counters. So let me just continue with some of the news here. So we have some breaking news that the U.S. Air Force has now deployed 4 F-16s to Poland yesterday, and that's in addition to 4 Eurofighter Typhoons that were deployed to Poland from the UK. All right, so NATO is beefing up Poland. We've been seeing a ton of NATO reconnaissance activity in Poland and in the Baltic countries the last few days. Just 2 days ago, there were some AWACS planes and also a combat Sentinel plane flying off the coast of Kaliningrad. Now, for a combat Sentinel plane to be deployed to any area means that there's something serious going on, because the U.S. only has 2 combat Sentinel planes. And so if they deploy one of them somewhere, it means it's a serious situation, because those planes are specifically designed for gathering intelligence for the president and the top generals. Okay, that's what that plane's job is. And so that plane was flying off the coast of Kaliningrad, okay, doing a boomerang pattern off the Kaliningrad coast, which is where Russia has their Baltic fleet. Okay, that's where they have one of their naval bases there. So for them to deploy a combat Sentinel plane to Kaliningrad means something's going on over there, because the president and the top generals, the chiefs of staff, they want to know what's going on. So, pretty interesting. We also have some breaking news that apparently during the emergency alert system test today, there were some emergency alerts that were broadcasted on electronic billboards on the side of roads. And this is being reported by a viewer of mine from the Pittsburgh area who said he was driving on Route 279 North coming out of Pittsburgh, and there were emergency alerts on the electronic billboards. Okay, so that is just absolutely insane. The U.S. government has issued visas for a Russian delegation to participate in the Nuclear 5 consultations at the UN headquarters in New York City. And this was reported by the Russian deputy foreign minister. Okay, the Nuclear 5 are the 5 main nuclear powers. So they're going to be meeting at the UN HQ in New York City very soon. And the U.S. has already given visas to the Russian delegation to allow them to come to have discussions with the other nuclear powers in New York City. So something's going on, guys. They're suddenly doing a discussion, all the nuclear powers. Pretty weird. Okay. We also have some breaking news that Russia has withdrawn its Black Sea Fleet vessels from Crimea after the latest attacks on the Black Sea Fleet. This was reported by the Wall Street Journal. We also have some breaking news that Germany does not plan to supply Taurus cruise missiles to Ukraine in the near future. This is being reported by Bild, which is a German newspaper, and it was citing various sources on that. I personally don't believe it. I think Germany is just trying to do damage control, because Germany a few days ago said that they would be okay with Ukraine using Taurus missiles to strike targets in Russia, in Russia proper. Okay. And then Medvedev threatened to attack Germany directly, the Taurus missile factories, with missiles if they gave Taurus missiles to Ukraine and Ukraine used them on Russian soil. Then Russia would basically launch missiles at the production facilities in Germany. Okay. So it looks like they're just doing damage control. I still think they're going to send those Taurus missiles, but they're going to do it quietly, and they're probably going to tell Ukraine not to strike Russian territory, but maybe they don't care. Maybe they'll just tell Ukraine, strike wherever you want. We also have the top general of NATO, Admiral Rob Bauer. Okay, he's the NATO general. Okay, he reports directly to Jens Stoltenberg, who is the Secretary General of NATO. He's the leader of NATO. So NATO's top general, Admiral Bauer, is saying that the bottom of the barrel is now visible in terms of ammunition production for Ukraine. And he said, we are transferring weapons systems to Ukraine, which is wonderful, and ammunition, but not from full warehouses. We started transferring from half empty or already empty warehouses in Europe, and now those supplies are running out. Okay, so what he's saying is that they've already exhausted those, half empty warehouses. They've already exhausted their sort of like secondary and tertiary supplies. And now if they want to continue to help Ukraine, they have to dig into their primary stocks, okay, which is obviously not what NATO wants to do, all right, because then they're taking away from their preparedness for any kind of escalation with Russia, conventional war. We also have some breaking news coming from CNN. I know you guys don't like CNN, neither do I, but apparently they're reporting that the U.S. is going to be transferring thousands of Iranian weapons that were confiscated to Ukraine. And here we have a video showing some of those weapons. Okay, this is not everything, but here's mostly small arms and some shoulder-fired grenades and things like that, RPGs. We also have some breaking news that the U.S. and Ukraine will start to jointly produce air defense systems on Ukrainian territory. The first effects of cooperation will be visible by the end of 2023, said the head of the Ukrainian Ministry of Strategy and Industry. All right, so that is huge news. Okay, we're going to start working with Ukraine on building air defense systems on their territory, American air defense systems being built on Ukrainian territory. Pretty interesting. Hopefully none of our secrets get leaked out, the technology secrets. Here we have some video footage of Ukrainian special ops landing on the western shore of Crimea. You can see that they were using what appear to be jet skis. Okay, and they made a beach landing on the western shore of Crimea. I think this was last night, and it was just a small force. Okay, a small special ops force. I guess you could consider them like Ukrainian Navy SEALs. And so it wasn't anything huge, but it looks like they were doing some reconnaissance. They were probably trying to, gather some information on, where would be good areas to land, what the Russian defenses are like. So this is a sign that Ukraine is planning to go into Crimea. Okay, and we know that Crimea is Putin's red line, but this is the basically initial reconnaissance that Ukraine has to do before they make any kind of amphibious landings on Crimea, which Ukraine could very well do. Okay, they could do amphibious landings on Crimea. It would actually make sense if they did amphibious landings simultaneously while they came in from the north. Okay, and they would basically come from two sides. They would come from the beaches on the western side. They would do large amphibious landings there, and then they would come from the northern side. But this is just evidence that Ukraine plans to take back Crimea. They don't care about Putin's red line. Okay. We also have some breaking news coming out of the South China Sea. Apparently, there's 3 people dead after a Philippine fishing boat was rammed by an unidentified commercial vessel, most likely a Chinese commercial vessel, near the Scarborough Shoal in the early morning hours of Monday, October the 2nd, according to the Philippine Coast Guard. Okay. And speaking of the Philippines and Asia, we have a typhoon about to make landfall on Taiwan. It's supposed to make landfall overnight. It's a Category 4, but apparently this storm already clocked a 213 mile per hour wind gust, which is, I believe, one of the top wind gusts ever recorded from a tropical cyclone. 213 miles per hour, guys. Okay, absolutely insane. This is the southern part of Taiwan. This is Typhoon Koinu, okay, Koinu, supposed to make landfall overnight, and one of the top 5 highest wind gusts ever recorded on Earth, actually. Okay, so absolutely insane. We also have some breaking news coming out of China. China put out a propaganda film. This is showing some of their military readiness, and it's aimed at Taiwan. They're trying to basically scare Taiwan and show Taiwan how prepared they are, showing their Navy, showing their Army. So, it's possible that China could make a move on Taiwan at the same time as Putin launches nukes on Ukraine. Okay, that would be insane if that happened. If they simultaneously did that, that would just completely overwhelm the West. Maybe that's why Putin is meeting with Xi Jinping. Okay, maybe they're going to do something like that. I don't know. But that's pretty much it for this one, guys. I'll keep you updated with any other breaking news as it comes. So take care, God bless, and don't forget the 3 Ps: prepare, practice, and persevere.